So last week or 2 weeks ago on our last call, we focused on business build or question and answer session we had. And we just had a few questions by Nikki asked a question. I think Jolene asked a question. We were able to answer those. We, of course, had some technical difficulties. And your homework for this call was to watch the video by Sonia Dudley called Connect versus Convince, and then also to answer the question, what do your people skills or your paycheck mean to you? So I want to first just kind of have a discussion and talk about the video, the Connect versus Convince, and if there's something that you took away from it. So whoever's ready to share can share, including Renee and Julie.
I will go first.
All right.
I think on the, I'm sorry, I'm gonna, because I wasn't on last time. Are we talking about Sonia's video?
Yep.
The thing that I took away from that most of all was I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just truly think it will help. I just kind of thought that that was really powerful as far as you do really want to come across that way. That really, I'm truly not trying to sell you anything. I really, truly do want to help you. I thought that was really, really good. Even text messaging when you're talking to people out in public, you know, anything like that. Because I think she's absolutely 100% right. That's the very first thing that people think. Oh, you know, they put up their front right away. I don't want anything. I don't want you to sell anything. So yeah, I think that's really cool. And if somebody would say that to me, I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm truly trying to help you. I really like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I liked how she touched on our fear of that, how we have a fear that people think we're going to be trying to sell them something.
Right.
Even though we know that's not necessarily the truth.
Right.
So I think that ties into those fears that we have that hold us back.
Right.
I like the part too, because I know I forget to do this, but asking more questions. So I might ask 2 or 3, but I probably could ask some more. So I thought that was really good too.
Using the asking of the questions to guide them to finding the answers rather than giving them the answers, that you mean?
Yes, and just knowing, and I think it helps them see that you care about them if you're asking more questions and being more sincere.
Jolene or Bobby or Nikki, did you have anything that you wanted to add about the video? Something you took away or something maybe that resonated with you or something that you thought in the video was interesting?
I love the whole thing. So, I like which I've heard before, you know, make them feel important. They don't really care about what you know. They want to feel, you know, like she was talking about being real, care, and sincere, and to build that trust and connect. And I really like to make them feel important instead of, you know, throwing a bunch of stuff out. Like to ask them the questions would definitely help with that. You know, ask them what's going on, you know, make it feel like it's all about them, not about the product. So I love the whole thing. So I watched it right after the call when we did this, so I watched it right away.
Jolene or Nikki? Have something to add?
I didn't watch it. Sorry.
Well, now I hope that you want to watch it after what we said.
Yes.
Nikki, did you have anything you wanted to add? I don't know if she's still with us. All right, we can come back to that if she has something. So the other assignment was looking at the question, what does your people skills or your paycheck mean to you? So if you had to answer that, your people skills are your paycheck, what are you going to say?
Mine's so-so.
I think it ties into the video, though.
I would say the way that you you perceive yourself, in like how you talk to that person, or like your people skills, how you're making them feel, in a way. That's such a wide range question.
Well, that's why it's what does it mean to you? It might mean something different to you and something different to Julie and something different to Renee.
I think it means to me is how am I gonna like trust building, and like how are my people skills? How am I gonna get them to know that I'm there to help them in that way? You know, I'm there to help you. I'm not there to sell to you. I think that's how what I take from it, because if I'm pushy and I sound salesy, I'm not gonna have a paycheck. You know, so it's more of that sincere, like what she talked about in the video. You know, make them feel important. You're there for them. That's what I would say.
I like your answer.
Well, thank you.
Jolene, what does it mean to you? What does your people skills are your paycheck mean to you?
I'm sorry, he's being really noisy here tonight. Means that I need to work on connecting with them the best I can, other people, either on a personal level or, yeah, more on a personal level in order to try to get through to them. You know, that it's something that I really want to do to help them.
Thanks, Jolene. Renee or Julie, did you have something you wanted to add for that? Renee and I did this assignment, I don't know, like a year and a half ago. Yeah, a year and a half ago. We were asked the same question, and we also had to come up with our answer. So Julie didn't have to do this. So how would you answer it, Julie? We're gonna have to yep, there you go.
Hello. Okay. You know what's really funny? There's a big thing there saying you are muted if you're trying to talk. Anyway, I think people skills are my paycheck. Building rapport, building those relationships. Really, I think both Bobby and Jolene said it. You know, really connecting with the people. You know, making sure that you're not being so sales pushy, and you know, it's not about our paycheck to them. It's truly about building relationships and building that rapport, so they do trust us and they can help, or so that we can help. And so in turn, by us helping other people, whether that mean customers or whether that means our team members bringing in new ambassadors, we truly earn, we get a paycheck out of it.
I would agree with you. Renee, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I think I agree with everyone on that level, but I also wanted to put in there just to, I guess, learn how to listen and hear also to what they're asking or what their concerns are. I think sometimes we get so excited about Plexus and what it can do that you're just so excited about filling them in that maybe you don't always hear. And so knowing that, and then I think it also ties into how to read their body language, how to also, I don't know, you know when you're with somebody and what your intuition, your gut is telling you. So I think all of it kind of goes in together. And if you can't do that well, then yeah, I don't think you'll have much of a paycheck.
Yeah, I would agree with you too. I think, you know, people skills is a broad term, but listening is definitely an important one. So I know that Renee shared with you last Saturday when I wasn't at the sleepover some information about we want to run these Google Hangouts. So she's going to take a couple minutes and share with you some of the guidelines that we came up with, although technical difficulties seem to be holding us back from this.
Yes, we can't really help that one. So unfortunately, that will be a distraction sometimes. But yeah, I know Jolene and Bobby, Julie, last Saturday we all kind of talked with, and Angie was there, a little bit more about our Hangouts and just trying to get a little more, so we can get a little more structure. You know, we want these to really be of value, and we want everyone to be learning and growing. So we want to really use this as a training type atmosphere. So I know, like tonight, like Cassie said, whoops, computer issues, we really couldn't help that one. But us starting this now with these is really going to change the dynamic later when we are adding more people. And when you girls are able to do this at a later date with your teams, you're going to be able to kind of structure it, and we can all kind of, hopefully it will kind of all be the same. So we know what to expect. If we need to bounce on, you know, there'll be eventually where you're all doing your own Hangouts, and you might invite Julie on for one, or Cassie on for one, or myself. We're already going to know what to expect. So I just think that's amazing to just think about how we're growing and learning, and to think what this is going to be for all of us from a year now, to look back at where we started and how we're growing. I just think that's amazing. If you just step back and think about it, it's like, hoobies. So we came up with a few things that we thought maybe would make it a little easier to run smoothly. I mean, I know, like we said, there's going to be distractions, things come up. You know, there's some things that's out of our control, but the things that we can kind of control are just a few things that we talked about. Was like, to join the meeting, you know, if you think, you know, like we tried earlier tonight to get on 10, 15, 20 minutes early. It didn't pan out that way. But if you want to hop on 10, 15 minutes beforehand, Julie, Cass, and I are always trying to get on around that time. So when you get on Hangout, I don't know how your screen looks, but you can kind of see it'll say like on call. And that's kind of how I get on. I just click on that and you can bounce right on. If you are not able to, because I know Cassie at times will put a link on Facebook, and sometimes people aren't able to be on Facebook to get the link. If you think like, oh, I'm not going to be on Facebook to get the link, just let us know a half hour, 45 minutes, say something's wrong, I can't get on that way. We'll try another alternate route. And then, of course, trying to be on time, best that you can. If you think you're going to be running 5-10 minutes late, we would like to have you just wait for the recording, just so it's not so much of a distraction. I know sometimes computers are kicking us off and on, like it just happened to me, of course. So trying to be not so distracted when you pop back, you know, on. And then, like I said, we're going to try to start on time. We're going to leave them to be an hour. If something comes up where you have questions, we will definitely stay on longer. I mean, just let us know, and we can stay online after, but we want respect everyone's time. So I know Nikki is like an hour difference from us, so I want to have her get what she needs out of it, and then if there's more questions, we'll just take it offline. So just let us know. And then we're getting better at the mute thing, on and off, so that's good. So remember to mute when you're not talking, so we don't have to hear the background noise. Is grand. So everyone's doing really good on that, so kudos. And then and if you need to like get up and leave, I know this is a big thing, you know, you have spouses, loved ones, children, being able to put that little camera button and have it face to your profile picture and then just get up and walk away, I think is a little more or less distractive than all of a sudden they're like, oh, where'd they go? I don't see them in the box anymore. Like something happened to them. You know, we all panic like, oh no, where'd they go? So putting on your little picture, we'll know that, okay, they had to step away for a few minutes. Yeah, and I think doing those few things will really help us get this, stay organized, value everyone's time. We know you have other obligations in the evening, so we want to make sure we get on, get what we need, and move on. So, but you guys are doing wonderful, and I guess I apologize for the technical problems tonight, but it's going to happen. And I know we talked about doing conference calls. I really wouldn't like to do those just because I love seeing everyone. And I think we know when everyone's talking then. When you're on the phone, you're like, you just don't know when to talk. So I think if we can get the hang of this and keep it going, I mean, we're learning and growing too, so we'll get it figured out. So I don't know, Julie, Cassie, you want anything to add to that? I really don't want to talk too much about it, I guess.
No, I think you did a good job.
Okay, great. Thank you. I had a lot more written up on that, but I won't do that.
No, I think you did a good job too.
I can write a book, but I won't.
I think it's just hard sometimes, especially with life, when we're trying to get together and do these things, and there's a lot of things distracting us anyway, in our home life. So yeah, I think you really touched on the basics, and yeah.
Great.
All right, so one of the things that we felt when we joined, and I'm sure you have felt when you joined, and I know I've had conversations with some of you about these things, is the ingredients in the products. We want to know what they are, and we want to know how they can help people. But trying to research every ingredient in every product is extremely overwhelming. You all kind of get mixed up in your head, and you can't remember the names or which one goes in which product. So we decided we're going to spend the next few calls focusing on the products and their ingredients, starting with the triplex, because it's kind of the three main products that most people turn to when they first start Plexus, or if somebody's having some type of health issue, you're talking with them about either one of those three products. So your only challenge for next week, or next call, is going to be to research one ingredient. Just one. You'll be assigned one, and present what you learned on our next call. So in the triplex, starting with the slim, we have three main ingredients. We have chromium, we have chlorogenic acid, and we have alpha lipoic acid. Now, I can name all three of them. I know they go in the slim. I know a little bit about each one, but I can't say that I am an expert to know them in detail, and I probably would like to know more. So before I actually assign them, I guess I'll ask, Bobby, would you like one of those three ingredients to do your research on?
Sure.
Okay, do you have a preference?
No.
Okay, so why don't we start with you, and you can research chromium.
Okay.
Nikki, did you have a preference? No?
No, I don't have a preference. It doesn't matter.
Okay, how about you take alpha lipoic acid?
Sounds good.
Okay, and Jolene, I'm going to give you chlorogenic acid. Hopefully she can hear me. I decided I was going to take two ingredients from the probiotic. There are a ton of ingredients in the probiotic because of the different enzymes and the different bacteria. So I'm going to work on two of them. We may have to spend next week doing a few of those ones as well because there are so many. But in BioCleanse, the main ingredient is magnesium. So Renee or Julie, do you want to research magnesium? Oh, I hear Julie. Okay. So Julie's going to do magnesium.
That sounded like an easy one. I don't know if it is or not, but I can at least say it.
I guess we'll find out. right, so then Renee, I'm going to assign you chitsanase in the ProBio. If anyone knows, that's the one that breaks down the outer shell of the bad bacteria. Does everyone understand, or does anyone have questions on what we need to do for next week? Or next call. I always say next week.
If I can just put in a little suggestion there, not like I'm an expert, I haven't been to school in eons like the dinosaur years, but if you can take your ingredient and just research the heck out of it with all kinds of different sources, and then just kind of compare the different sources. Because, of course, you know, you can believe everything that you find on the internet, right? So, but yeah, just kind of research all kinds of different avenues. I mean, that would be my only suggestion to everybody, so we can kind of really get the good, full understanding of it, and then once we have a big understanding of it, kind of break it down into our own terms, what it means to us, that we're comfortable telling people what it is.
And if you would like, we can always create a group on Facebook where we maybe share where we found some resources, where we found some of our information. So if somebody's struggling and they're like, I don't know, I can't seem to find any good information, they can go and they can look at these resources and maybe they can find information about their ingredient.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then eventually, hopefully we can share information on there as well.
It would also be a neat tool for us to go back on, too, and study everybody's information.
Right. So it'd be a good place to keep it.
Yeah, obviously when we're on these calls, we're going to be able to hear a little bit about it, but it would be nice to be able to read something when we're all done and, you know, be able to actually go back and study some of that stuff.
Right. And if there's anyone that wasn't on the call tonight and they get back to us and they say they want to be part of this, we'll definitely assign them an ingredient. Like if Angie decides she wants to do it, I'll leave that up to you, Julie, to contact her. All right, so Julie, do you want to do the closing for this evening? Reminders and closing?
Sure. So, upcoming dates that we've got going on here. I think, you know, we've kind of always talked from the beginning of our Google Hangouts to make sure that you honestly make an honest effort to make all the events and the meetings. Sometimes when you don't need a meeting, the meeting needs you, and sometimes when you need a meeting, you know, it needs you. So it kind of goes both ways. So always try to make any events or special things that you possibly can. You just might never know when you're going to pick up that little bit of information or, you know, bond with the extra Plexus people and get to know everybody. So anyway, upcoming dates. This Saturday is a park event. Children are welcome. So children can go, you know, play on the equipment or whatever at the park when the adults are kind of talking Plexus and bonding. That is going to be at Depke Park. There is an event for that. It's from 9 to 11, or if you wanted to stay later with a like that, you're more than welcome to do that too. But if you do want to be involved with that event and you're not invited yet, let either myself, Renee, or Cassie know, and we can definitely invite you to that on the event page. And then next meeting from there is our Tuesday monthly meeting. And that is this coming Tuesday, the 10th, at American Inn from 7 to 8. And again, make sure that you invite guests to this one. We want to try to pack the house and get it, you know, as full as we possibly can. I think that's really where a lot of the ambassadors and customers come from leaving those meetings. And just to kind of throw it out there, it wasn't on my agenda, but I know I was kind of guilty of this last time, but when we are at meetings like that there's customers and potential ambassadors there, we want to be really, what's the word I'm trying to use, sincere or respectful, I guess, to the other people that are speaking or the other guests in the room. I know we've heard stuff 1,000 times, and it kind of gets boring, if you will. But it's really important that, you know, the people that are speaking, you know, the guests in the room to hear as much as they possibly can. And then the next one, I'm really interested with this one because I guess this is the first time we're doing it. But I believe it's Maureen, I believe, that is putting on this one. But there's going to be a Zoom training for our read, if you will, on the 17th from 8:30 to 9:30. And if you are not on that event either, that invite, please let one of us know as well, and then we can get you added. I think I tried to add everybody on my people, and I think Renee and Cassie did the same. But if we, you know, miss somebody, please let us know, and we will get you on that. So it's going to kind of be like this, except I think at a bigger scale. So I'm really excited. If you can't, you know, make any of the other stuff, you know, try to make that one just to at least see what it's about, and I think that'll be fun and interesting. So, but that's all I've got. Questions, anyone? All right. Happy researching.
Yep. Great job sharing everyone tonight, and I look forward to hearing everyone's research next fall.
Yes, thanks everyone.
Yes, thanks everyone. All right, have a good evening, everyone.
See you next
Have a
time.
good evening, everyone.
Bye, Nikki. Have fun on your camping trip.
And you rock, by the way. I just